All right, here is a lesson on writing linear functions. So if you remember from Algebra 1, the slope-intercept form of a linear equation is y equals mx plus b, where m represents the slope of the line and b is that y-intercept. So an example, write the equation of the graph of the line in slope-intercept form. So we want it to be y equals mx plus b. So let's go ahead and find the two pieces. So we need to find the slope. So I'm going to choose this point right here and that point right there that's been identified. And we're going to do the slope. So if you remember, slope represents the rise over the run. So you just choose one point. You're going to count how much we're rising. So we're rising 3 units in the positive direction. And then we're going to run 4 units in the positive direction. So the slope is positive 3 over positive 4. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So this is our b. So our b is positive 3. So the equation in slope-intercept form is y equals m, which is 3/4 x, plus b, which is 3. Point slope of a linear equation is y equals y sub 1 equals m quantity x minus x sub 1, where m is the slope and x sub 1 and y sub 1 is the ordered pair on a line. So an example, write the equation of the slope of -5. So our slope is -5. And then we have a point of 1, 3. So here's that point, 1, 3. So slope is negative, so that means it's going to be decreasing, something like that. So I'm going to change this to a fraction. You can make that negative be in the numerator or in the denominator. So those are the same number per se, just where you put that negative. You can't put it in both places. So to be able to graph this line, I have to rise over run. So I'm going to go down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5. And I'm going to run positively 1 to the right. So this is my second point. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the line. So that's the graph of that line. Now we want to come up with the equation using this point slope formula. So we substitute the point and the slope into that formula. So y minus y sub 1 is the 3 equals m -5 x minus x sub 1, which is 1. So that would be point slope form. But it's asking us to convert it to slope intercept. So to convert it to slope intercept, we have to solve it for y. So we're going to distribute that -5 into that parentheses. So we get -5x plus 5. Then we're going to move that -3 to the right. So we're going to add 3, we're going to add 3. Run out of room here. So y equals -5x plus 8. The example 3 now gives us a list of ordered pairs, and we want to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So we need to find the slope. So if you remember, slope is the change in y, so y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we need to identify 2 points. I'm going to choose this point here and that point there. I'm going to call this x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to substitute those numbers in so I can find out what is the slope. So when I substitute in y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and then we simplify it. So the numerator is -1 and the denominator is +4. So this is our slope. Now you get to choose between either one of those points to sub into point slope formula. So here's that point slope formula again. We're using y equals y sub 1 equals m x minus x sub 1. So I'm just going to choose this first point and I'm going to substitute it in. So y minus 1, -1/4, x minus -1. Now we do need to do the same thing that we did in the previous example and solve it for y. So what you do to finish this right here is solve for y like we did on the previous example.